Ladies and gentlemen, we have special guests in and from Arizona, Joey Marshall, Doug Hendrix, Arizona Airspeed, and they just told me that very soon, and we are a little bit under time pressure because you will meet with Jack Jefferies in a little while.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, the whole team is. So you might see team members walking through this door as this goes on.
They
We'll see.
they can join in at any time. They're all very
Great.
welcome. Anyway, say hi to Jack. And so, what's going on? Are you in big trouble that you need Jack, or what's going on?
No, no. Actually, we're just trying to make sure that the team starts off on the right foot a little bit, you know. In the past, uh Jack has helped us with a number of things, including solving problems, um, values alignments, establishing certain cultures and allowing us to do better team commitments to one another, and things like that. And honestly, we're just going to talk to him to figure out where we want to kind of move with this new lineup and what are the kind of low-hanging fruits or what are the things that we want to start working on outside of the business, like with regards to team dynamics, things to work on in terms of team dynamics outside of the business of airspeed and outside of the four-way technique of airspeed. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yeah, yeah, and you don't really have a, like a coach like many other teams have, an
Hmm.
external coach. So having somebody like Jack looking over your shoulder or giving you advice, once in a while what things, there's no doubt it's a very helpful thing to do. And Arizona Airspeed has a tradition with Jack. I mean, he's not only a world champion, of 95, 97. And he has been active ever since, but he is very trained now as of group dynamics and social behavior and all that, right?
Yeah, he is very well trained on it. His whole business is about corporate team building, and high performing teams. And his kind of life work or his kind of work on airspeed, the way he likes to present it is uh, his vision of airspeed when he was on it was to turn it into, after the first couple of years and once they started to bring in an eight-way team, his vision was to turn it into a machine that pumped out world champions, and what you have to build in order to do that is a culture of excellence and a culture that supports high performing teams. And that's kind of, you know, I don't know if I'm in the position to say that's his life's work, but for me looking on the outside, that's kind of seems to be a big focus of his professional life.
Well, Joey, you have to pump out three new world champions now. You have already, that's yourself, but your neighbor there, for instance, he is not even been
Also
close.
my videographer. Don't forget about Alex.
Oh, sorry, Alex. Sorry, Alex. Yes. Yeah, that's very true. We never want to forget the videographer. And Doug, you are on your way. And is Joey giving you the foundation you're looking for?
Yeah, yeah. We've spent we spent a lot of time just in the tunnel with some just fundamental skills and then now that we're working the center together, there's a lot of new stuff that we're both working together and just simple grip taking, things like that. And yeah, he's got a lot of knowledge, but also like with Michelle, she's got a lot of knowledge too. So we're all trying to take everyone's kind of different knowledge sets and then merge them into what we want to do.
You say you've been working a lot in the tunnel and all that. So I'm assuming that you have been following the indoor action, competitive indoor action quite well ever since the Wind Games. You were at the Wind Games
Yeah.
for the competition itself, but a bunch of events have taken place recently, and you're not going to the Indoor World Cup.
Right.
And
Correct.
which brings you to the NSL power rankings, because it never happens that I have some, well, Gary is an external observer usually, or the coaches are, if I have some. I was asking Nicholas if he is interested in, taking apart the power rankings, but now you're not going, so you're external observers. Why?
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm a couple of things. One, I'm not going to call them unless they're what I think they are. Hold on. Let me ask. Are these actual power rankings or is this predictions for the FAI Indoor World Cup?
Predictions. I
All
mean,
right.
no, let's say it's
I'm not gonna call them power rankings.
yeah, no,
Because let me make my argument. If we were to do power rankings on pickup trucks, we would rank order them by horsepower, which is an objective number that we can measure. But if we're going to be speculating, all right, I don't want to go out there because now I've been on the receiving end of these power rankings. Right? They were incorrect. And now we're going to put out an artifact that other teams in France are going to see, and I don't want it to reflect badly on me. I don't want to call it for what it is. These are speculative predictions.
Okay, they are speculative predictions which are based on a very qualified history of the teams.
Yeah. Yes, actually, and I think we're in a good position because we have a lot of information going into this. But I'll be honest, I have not been studying as hard as I should have. So I'm going to ask you a lot of questions as we go through. I don't expect you to have some answers for me.
Yeah,
It's too bad Ali wasn't here because
Ali
watches every second of every competition.
Okay,
Yes.
And
bring him
hey,
in.
look at this transition.
Yes.
He's not here, but I wish he was here.
We need Ali. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I love to hear it also from people who look at it from a different perspective. That's great.
Yeah.
I have to say, though, it is really very little speculation. It is speculation. I mean, it is literally actually a speculation, but it is surely based on real numbers, on facts, non-scoring.
Well, at this point, you can just do if we go to your world rank, right? Let's do that. That'll be a fun activity. I'm going to your website.
Okay, hang on one second, because most people may not know that there are those world rankings which are also based on the real score. So let me pull them up here quickly so that everybody can see them. That's at teams and rank, right? That's where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indoor four-way.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is information gathering for we haven't had many outdoor competitions. So let me switch to indoor. There's
well, what power rankings are we doing?
2026.
We're doing the power rankings for the upcoming World Cup.
Oh, well, that's indoor.
Yeah, that's indoor.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, but there's
So
if you look at the menu,
we're done.
Okay, good. Congratulations. We're looking at the same thing. So the scores that we see there are only scores of this year, indoor scores since January 2026. Several events are taking, the problem with that is, if you can say problem, but the indoor season begins after the Outdoor World Championship, Outdoor Nationals, whatever. So it begins earlier than January 2026.
Okay,
so there are quite a few scores which are not on this list here specifically.
So why? Okay, I have a couple of questions. I see Wimby High Rollers there, but where are the rolling eighthers in your last post or whatever, right? Where you had Julian and Roy join with the eighthers. That's not in here.
In this listing, you will find them under France four-way open, because that's who they are actually.
Okay, understood. Understood.
So if you look at it now, I'm sometimes I'm abusing the system, even if teams are not giving me a new team now or whatever. I just put them where they should be. And France is one example. Now, France has always an four-way open class national team, a four-way
Yep,
women national team. Sometimes they have names, team names, sometimes not. So it's a little bit different system, and that is considered here.
understood. Understood. All right.
Okay, so this list is a little bit, could be a little bit confusing because the 2025 scores of the indoor season are not listed here. And but you will find them now if we want to, if we go back to the power rankings that we want to talk about now. I'm back at the power
Now,
rankings.
help me out here. I'm sorry, I'm project managing this.
Yeah.
Can you open two windows, one with this and one with the rankings that you just had up? And can you two different windows, not tabs, windows, and put them side by side so I can see both at the same time?
You know what? I should be able to. So you see what I'm doing here right now, right?
Yeah,
Um, okay,
yeah.
so
You're doing the
let
right
me
thing.
let me
That's
try that. So I think this one here is, whoops,
Yep, stretch that down. Go ahead,
I
you can do
lost
it.
it, lost it. Where is it now? Here. I'm trying to
Yep,
make
did
it.
it. Stretch it down. You got it.
There
Come on,
we
I believe.
go.
There you
Okay, and
go.
then I'm gonna open the other one. I think I can do that. Open this in a new
In a new
window,
window. Yes,
in a
there
new
you go.
window,
And then
and
move it to
then
the side there.
move it to the side. There we go.
Yeah.
We're teaching. I get lessons in computer handling. That's great.
Yep.
Some of that I know already, as you can see. So
Hey, if you
here's,
want this done the very technocratic way, which is the way I'd like to do it, this is how we're going to do it. All
yeah,
right,
so
boom.
now we have it. So now we have both open here. But you know what, Joey, there may be even an easier way, because if you click on the team names, you get the specific team history of whatever team you're.
Yeah, but I don't want to go through them
Okay,
one-on-one necessarily.
it's all
Because
yours.
this shows an aggregation, and it shows on the right, it shows the like okay, for example, for Hayabusa, it shows that they've done a 30.4 to a 32 something, although that doesn't include their most recent indoor nationals. I know that. But like that's still useful information. Didn't they get like a 24 or sorry, 34 or 35 at their most recent?
Okay, so you, I want that would have been my next question actually, how up to date you are with everything, because
Yes, yes.
everything changed. You're right. You know, first, Hayabusa was um,
They crushed their
posted
indoor championships. Yeah.
was
Oh,
posted
can we
with a
start
third.
34 even? Got it.
Yeah,
Can we
here it is.
start by giving Doug and I want to say congratulations to Hayabusa for such an awesome performance. We just want to put
Yeah,
that
let
out there.
me get you out here. So now we have you. We'll go back to the sharing. But here's Joey and Doug and Hayabusa. Listen, they congratulate you for
Yes.
something though that it will bounce back a little bit, because you know obviously you had missed, you were busy with your big ways and all that. So
Mhm.
things have changed recently, because it happened after the after last weekend at the Wemby FS Cup, when it turned out that the scores were incorrect. So they had a scoring system there that was new, not approved by FAI ISC for live scoring, indoor live scoring, and the scores were, I don't know. Some of the audience actually told me. You know, I was surprised by that. I didn't know, but I
Right.
got feedback from the audience, and they said, "Hey, the scores which are posted are not matching the videos. You know, there were higher scores than what the videos were showing." And I said, "Oh no, what's, where is that coming from? Blah blah."
You know,
So what?
I feel weird because I remember looking at it and almost thinking that a little bit, but I was like, I was never gonna say that. I just assumed I was crazy. Because the
You were
NSL
not
is a very
crazy.
reputable organization.
Yeah,
They post scores, they have to be correct.
right.
Um,
That's what I thought. So
okay, so do
I
we know what the
also,
real scores are?
we have, because the last 24 hours I've been sitting on the computer and
Trying to fix them?
retiming them, not rejudging, because I didn't want to interfere with the judging, but I've been retiming them. So
Got it.
whatever is now posted are the real scores, and also that is not really um, from all the meets and for all the teams. It is shown like where is it now?
Okay, I see it now. So you're saying that they got a 32-3 at that meet.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, and their last round was a 65. Now,
Mhm.
I have a question. Is that did they have a 5 panel? I mean, obviously they had a scoring system that probably wasn't sanctioned by the FAI, but did they have a 5 panel judging judge did they have a 5-person panel for judging, and was it FAI? Is that an FAI world record? That's my question.
No, it's not a world record. We knew that already before because that was
Okay.
my first question that I directed to judges at the event. I was asking them, could this be a potential world record? And it could not because the judging system was not FAI IC approved, sanctioned.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
there was also a missing witness or whatever, another formality that could not make it a world record. But now, we can be kind of happy because afterwards it turns out that all the scores were incorrect. So now that all had to be corrected. There, technically, that's probably interesting for you, especially for the two of you. Um, there was a slight delay between the end of the 35.00 working time and the freeze frame. I cannot tell exactly how much it was, but there was some kind of a delay of a second, maybe, or less than a second. I don't know. But the judges took the freeze frame, and made their judgment call the scoring number based on the freeze frame. And that was always a little bit more than the actual end of the working time. So that's how it happened. Um, and the judges didn't detect it by then. I think it was somehow at some point brought to their attention. Um, I forgot how it was, and it doesn't really matter anyway. It was detected, and now it is corrected, but only on NSL leaderboards and only for the teams which are changing the bigger picture. Because I like journalistic accuracy of what I'm posting, and um, I don't like it when things are not true. So I'm correcting what I have to correct. But at the events itself, it is all relative. Although that's a trivia question for you. Is it all relative? Let's say for every team, it is the same. Let's say there's a delay of 1 second between end of 35 seconds working time and freeze frame. So will every team lose the same kind of number or similar amount of points, um, or is it different?
I think they lose a certain percentage, but not necessarily like a number of points.
Yeah, no, it's not the same number of points, but that doesn't saying that everybody should lose the same number of points is not fair, to be clear, right?
I'm
Like,
actually gaining a certain number of points.
yeah. No, because every team's moving at a different pace. In 1 second, one team could get 2 points. In 1 second, another team could get 0 points.
There you go.
So the only way, if you were to do a system where everybody lost 1 point on the round, that would actually not be fair because that would advantage slower teams potentially. But if you have a system where everybody gets 1 more second of working time, that sounds fair to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like if everybody gets 36 seconds, that's a fair meet. It's
Yeah.
not a correct meet, but it's fair,
Yeah. So that's I think
Unless somebody quits at 36 seconds.
yeah. So you could
Quits at 36 seconds and they were told they were given 35, then they have a grounds for protest.
Right. So, and that could happen theoretically. So, but anyhow, it is, proportional, obviously, because teams are going different paces by the end of the jump, obvious. And, but I think the way they handled it is that the proportion didn't change at the meets because all the teams had just, the additional whatever second. So everybody had, let's say, 36 seconds or whatever it was for the timing. And so since it was the same for everybody, they did not change the scores. For me, it was relevant for other reasons, more journalistic reasons, blah, blah. So I could not just assume so it was 1 second. I had to rejudge the whole thing. I mean, retime again. I didn't change the judging calls. That's not my job. But timing, at least I can do. So that's what I did. And now we have all the real on the NSL website, at least on all the leaderboards of which is only really the events where this judging system was used. And the two relevant events of this was the Benelux Championship, where Hayabusa competed, and Out of the Blue and Aero, all teams going to the World Cup. And then the Wemby FS come more or less for interest, because of, the teams there. I don't know if any of the team is actually going to the World Cup. But I had already, you may have seen that, I had already covered the former Hayabusa record numbers, the average number 35 plus, right? The only team who's ever done 35 plus. And then the story is that now the rolling Aethers came close to that, let's say. They didn't get there, but not really, because the real score was lower, and that I didn't know before. So anyhow, long story. It was all it is, so that's the leading up to the indoor World Cup, and the power rankings are now all based on real scores.
Great. So
35
let's
seconds.
let's get back to our speculative power rankings. I'm
Yes.
looking at what you have. I believe in the top 3, you have Aethers as number 1. Obviously, the French get the number 1 spot. They're also super comfortable in the tunnel. You would expect them to come out on top for sure. And then you have both at number 2, Hayabusa and the Golden Knights. And I think that is, for the record, I'm rooting for the US team, which is the Golden Knights. All right.
Yeah, of course.
I want to put that out there first. I think that is correct, putting Hayabusa and the Golden Knights there. I do think Hayabusa maybe has I think they have, let me put it this way. I think Hayabusa has a little bit of momentum. I think that Hayabusa have been going into the indoor meets this year with good technique and a good framework for their performance. And regardless of what happened with the scoring system at the last meet, they still had a fantastic performance. And the Knights also doing fantastic. It's just now they're in a position where they kind of need to clean up their performance and do a little bit better. So I think momentum is a little bit on Hayabusa's side, but I think I wouldn't even consider it an upset if the Golden Knights beat Hayabusa. Like, I don't think I wouldn't say it's an upset. I would say that's a valid outcome.
Yes. And that's, by the numbers, by the pure numbers, Hayabusa is actually ahead because of the last weekend's meet there, but there was that super sequence in it. And so I agree with you totally that they both tied in second place on the power rankings is correctly valid.
Yeah. Now, the next thing here, we have Skywalkers and Amnesia tied at 4. I find that interesting, but I don't know that I know these lineups. So I know the Skywalkers, those boys that that we competed against at XP, right? Is it all the same? Is it all the same guys?
Same guys, yeah.
Same guys? Okay, great. I know them. Amnesia. I've been following Amnesia for years, and I'm actually not convinced that those two teams should be tied in the power rankings.
Oh,
I
interesting.
I'm not convinced. Can you show me what data shows that they should be tied before I make a fool of myself? I'd
You
like.
know, the tying them is really based, that's speculation, really, because by the numbers, no, but actually by the numbers, I think the Skywalkers are really ahead because they have a 27, there's a
That's what I'm
20,
getting at, man. That's what I'm getting at.
yeah. But then the Amnesia last week, they are now competing with Michele Silvi, former Hayabusa, you know,
Are they
Vesuv.
competing with Mikhail? That's important information.
Yes.
Are they competing with Michele Silvi
Yep.
at the World Cup?
Yeah, he was in the lineup last weekend.
Is he going to still be in the lineup?
And he will still be in the lineup. So he is going to the World Cup in the same lineup. And this is also
Got it.
the 28.4 is also
Oh,
a
that
record.
makes it interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
go back now. Now I'm with it. Now maybe the Skywalkers and Amnesia belong to be tied with one another. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
tough one because I don't know how much training. I mean, my question is how much training has the Skywalkers done? Because I think that that's a very high potential team. And I don't think anybody would argue that. And if they've been at the grindstone working ever since XP when I competed against them last, then I'd say that Amnesia needs to look out, you know?
yeah. Well, the
But
Skywalkers they always have a little bit logistical, you know, economical trouble. It's
sure.
also an outdoor team. Amnesia is really an indoor team. At the moment, at least, you know, I mean, they're focusing more on indoor than outdoor with this lineup. So that's interesting. You know, they're
The
both.
Skywalkers, I know that they're an outdoor team, but the Skywalkers, I watched them fly. They fly like an indoor team. What I
Mhm.
was a little bit. They look
Well,
like a
they
good
grew up in the
indoor.
wind tunnel there since they were children. You know, so no surprise they're flying like
Okay.
indoor
Okay.
guys.
McKelly's gonna message me and he's gonna send me some really
Yeah,
nasty
he will.
messages. He's gonna send me some real nasty messages. And I might be wrong here because I've seen Amnesia more recently than the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
And
So
Amnesia is looking really good.
Amnesia was actually upgraded yesterday or today after the results from Wemby came in because that's the only team of all the teams at Wemby who really scored higher. I mean,
Yeah.
posted a record average with the same draw. As did actually out of the blue, but they were also a little bit downgraded again because not downgraded, but they cannot move up to the Amnesia level um, yet. So Amnesia
Okay.
was in the group of six, you know, with a sixth ranking, the group of places for the sixth ranking position there, and Amnesia is now up to four, while Out of the Blue is still in the sixth.
Well, dude, I think the Skywalkers have the ability to go. I think the Skywalkers have the ability to beat the Golden Knights and Hayabusa on a couple of rounds. If I think of it
Oh,
this
I
way,
see. Yeah, yeah,
you
agreed.
know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they were nipping at our toes at the world meet, at
Hmm.
the indoor world meet, right?
Yep.
So
Hmm.
I think if the Skywalkers put together the same performance and they're nipping at the toes of maybe they still lose by over 10 points to the Golden Knights and
Hmm.
Hayabusa, but if they can tie or beat them on a couple of rounds, I I
I
think
see.
that they come out on top of Amnesia.
I see
That's
what you're
that's
saying.
my
I
bet.
agree. Yeah.
But I think you're right to put them as tied there because I don't think I'm kind of going off of vibes a little bit. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
I put Skywalker ahead of Amnesia based off of vibes, but I think they're both correct. I think you're correct to make them tied at fourth.
Hmm.
All right, great. Next. Oh my God, we have so many people tied at six here. Out of the Blue, Gen X1, Pillars of Hopes and Dreams. That's another US team who I'm rooting for. All right, so out of the
There are
blue.
only
Oh,
three. The
get
group was
in
even
here,
bigger.
Alec. Get in here. Get in here.
Come on in. Come on in.
Alec. You
This,
know
this
what,
is your bread.
Oh,
Alex?
Alisson, yeah, there he is.
This is your
We're
bread and
just getting
butter.
to the
This is your
Brazilian
bread
team.
butter. All right.
Thanks,
So
thanks
we're
for
doing
joining, Alisson.
these very highly speculative power rankings. We only have a few minutes left to do them.
Hmm.
I'm telling him that he's correct all the way through fourth, right? We've gone from Aethers to Amnesia, and we feel comfortable with that. Now we're looking at this three-way tie for sixth, which is Out of the Blue, Gen XYZ, and Killers of Hopes and Dreams. Can you click on Killers of Hopes and Dreams real quick?
Yeah, who?
It's Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk, Jill, Gina, and Ian. Great. Love those guys. Then click on Gen XYZ.
It's almost
Yep.
yeah. Only this guy here, he will not be there. So
He's not gonna. Nick's not gonna be there.
no, Niklas cannot jump with him. It's a World Cup, so
Oh yeah, of course.
Brazil,
My
yeah.
mistake.
Who's filling in for Nick?
Yeah,
Yeah,
who's
but
filling-
they have
the
somebody. They have a very
people.
capable lineup there. So it's very. That's the biggest speculation I have to say. Gen XYZ, Alisson. You can tell us. Who was? Do I have the lineup here? Who was filling in for him? I don't have it. I have
Well,
it.
he knows. Allison knows. Allison, let's just pose this question to Allison.
Okay.
So he has it. Kurt has it as Out of the Blue, Gen XYZ, and Killers of Hopes and Dreams are going to be battling it out. Do you think that's correct, or do you think one of those three teams is going to pull ahead?
Ooh, no, I believe in the Brazilian team in the to number 5, I think so.
Yeah.
Because the guy who will replace Nick is Henrico, is a kid. He has 16 years old, is a very fast and light, and that's the new talent, and is a very good player. And I really believe in this team.
Great. So we have. So you think that we should change it so that at fifth is Gen XYZ, and
Yes.
then it'll be tied for sixth, Out of the Blue, and Killers of Hopes and Dreams.
Yes.
Nice. Hey man, you heard it from him. I'm not saying it's an unbiased opinion, but it is
biased.
It's an informed. It's an informed opinion. It may not be
I love it. I'm glad that I don't have to do it. So Out of the Blue is down to 6. Gen Z goes up to 5, and then there's tied on 6 Killers Hopes, and I got it.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So thanks, Ali. I didn't know exactly who it was. I heard from somewhere it was a young Brazilian talented guy. So you confirmed that.
Yeah.
And people didn't want to believe me when I talked about this, and I said, no, Brazil has a strong forward team. They were skeptical about this, and I'm glad to hear that there's something to it. Okay, what's behind them?
Who's this Aero team? I don't know anything about them.
That's the Belgian team. They just competed last weekend or a few weekends ago they were at the World Cup in Teurer, if you remember.
Okay.
You may remember that.
Okay, so their last performance was a 26.4 average on a really fast, or on a draw with a super sequence, right?
Yes, that's right. So they were at the same event. Those scores are also corrected now, but they had this 50-pointer here in round 10, the super sequence. So that's a part of it, yes.
And then can you pronounce that next name for me?
Hookmoose. That's a French team, also not very well known don't have a lot of team history, but they have very good players in it.
I don't know any of these guys.
They're what? Sorry?
I don't think I know any of these people.
No, Marie Pinot is in the 4-way women team. Alexander.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
Same thing. Thomas was just last weekend in the Monaco F1 team. So they're all very strong individuals.
Got it.
And they competed, yeah. I think this is from the Wemby Dynamic here when they posted a 23.7. Who knows?
It's the same lineup.
All right, guys, we have covered basically the top 10 here now, and I really appreciate that. But I wanted to ask you before I lose you here in 3 minutes or 4 minutes. Have you seen this round here already?
Yes. I think so. Is this round 10?
This is Hayabusa, I believe, in round 10, yeah. So
yeah.
Is it? Yes, it is. Yeah. So that is what was first the 69 pointer down to 65, and you probably have not copied it yet. You will probably do it still when you go. Okay, so you've seen that, which means like we don't really have to.
I think Ali sent it to us about 4 seconds after it was on in time.
Yeah.
Was it on in time? No, that
Or
wasn't.
whatever the scoring site was, we got it instantly from this guy here.
Yeah. He knows it all. He knows everything. I know, and you're following the NSL news very carefully too. Did you know that everything was messed up? Did you know the news already that everything had to be rejudged and the scores were not correct and all that?
No, I
Oh,
don't hear
okay,
it. I don't
okay.
see anything.
Well, that was today's news. Yeah, today's news actually is what happened at the Wembley FS Cup and what happened also at the Benelux
That's the actual
Championship
score that they got on that.
where Hayabusa scored the 69 pointer, which was downgraded to a 65 pointer, and the average went down from 34 to 32 point something, I guess, whatever it was. That all happened basically yesterday. Sorry, Ali, that I didn't inform you timely.
Oh no. Real quick, my impressions on that is it's a great round. I mean this as a compliment because I bring this up. This is something that I like to say about random sequences, is that a good random sequence should be boring when you watch it. And when I watch this, I'm almost yawning because of how boring it is, which is great. If you're having an exciting random, it's not going well.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
and the other thing that jumps out to me is I love how well the centers, Neil and Dennis, right, are working together. They're working together really well. Those are the things I love most about that round. Yeah.
Great. And Neil is still a relatively young inside center for Hayabusa, so that they're working themselves, right up there. Well, I hate to stop that because we are really running out of time already. I cannot believe it, as always, how quickly the time's running. But you have things to do anyway. Alisson, Vargas, Doug Hendrix, Joey Marshall, Arizona Airspeed. We're missing only Michelle. Please give her a hug and a kiss from us. We're sorry to miss her. But say hi to Jack too and enjoy your team building or team
We also have Alex over here. Sorry, I didn't bring him in.
He's hiding.
Yeah.
Same.
Hey, Gert, how's it going?
Hi, Alex. Good to see you. Good to see you, world champion.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we have to stop it because if not, then Zoom will stop me in about 20 seconds probably. Thank you very much. Enjoy it, and I see you soon in the land here for the Shamrock Showdown, right? Yeah, Shamrock Showdown. Bob Hallett Memorial coming very soon.
Yeah,
okay, thanks again.